Everton starting 11 with Paul Gerrard and John Collins injured. Thomas Myra came in for his first game of the season, and David Unsworth was moved to a central midfield position. Michael Ball slotting in at left back. One significant change for Preston. Kurt Nogan was injured, so Bjarki Gunnlaugsson, the twin brother of Leicester's Arnor, started. David Ayres, a self-confessed Everton fan, had recovered in time from a rib injury to take his place on the left side of midfield. Well, the commentary comes from Brian Marwood and Martin Tyler.
To give you an idea of what a special day this is for Preston North End and their fans, when they were last in this fifth round of the FA Cup, here on Merseyside, they were preparing Goodison Park to help stage the World Cup finals back in 1966. The weather on Merseyside today has been pretty dreadful. Strong winds, some driving rain. So Everton and Preston North End with the elements to try to beat, let alone each other. And here's the first driving run by Don Hutchison. Ball back in favour today. Pass by Barmby, goalkeeper's come, Jeffers is round him, first chance for Everton. Jackson blocks, and it's a corner. Michael Jackson to the rescue.
This is a tremendous piece of anticipation. And Jeffers just manages to stay on side. Barmby slips the ball through. He really ought to have finished there, but thankfully Michael Jackson didn't give up.
Comes out to Pembridge. In towards Hutchison. Feels that ran down. Macken has already shown a good capacity to work the full width of the pitch. Well represented in the centre are Preston, and the header by Appleton was a solid one too. Just too high.
Some sloppy defending initially from Michael Ball. He really did dive in here. He just had to hold Macken up, but Macken gets into a great position, and this is a great quality cross. And it was just the sort of pace that Appleton would have enjoyed to get on the end of it. He meets it firmly enough, but can't get the correct direction.
Pembridge. Campbell letting it run. Jeffers. Well, it was a bright idea, even if the execution wasn't quite what Francis Jeffers was hoping for.
Well, he knew what he wanted to do, didn't he, Francis Jeffers? He was afforded a little bit more room from Colin Murdoch that perhaps the Preston manager would have liked if he centre-half. Really looks to spot and try and hit the top corner.
But believe it or not, Preston last played here in 1960. Bill Kenwright might remember those days. 6 months later, Preston were relegated from the top division, the old First Division, and they've never returned. Of course, Everton have never been out of the top flight in that time. Jackson. Gunnlaugsson. Rankin. Nice play from Preston. Macken shot.
Best move of the game so far, Martin. Very clinical, crisp passing, very clever interplay between Rankin and then Macken getting in with a left foot. Angle's a little bit tight.
Done. Worth having to bite in. Just a moment too earlier had been left on the deck. Not for the first time today.
Well, I think we expected a very tenacious battle in midfield. Don Hutchinson always seems to be at the thick of things, doesn't he? But Gregan and Rankin have certainly been biting around in that area.
And here's Gunnlaugsson. He wanted too much time. Appleton is backing up. Gunnlaugsson! Twice chances for the Icelander.
Well, Richard Gough will be owing his centre-half partner David Weir a drink tonight because it was Gough's mistake. And you've got to say, very difficult conditions, but he's read that wrong, and Gunnlaugsson here, I think, believes he has a little bit more time than he actually got. But David Weir makes a stupendous tackle, trying to come out for offside, and Gunnlaugsson needs a better contact.
Appleton. Campbell trying to get in behind Jackson, and he might have done it. Kevin Campbell, well stopped by Moylan. Campbell, he was given the right to have the shot. Now he's looking that he might have been fouled.
Well, this is the strength of Kevin Campbell. We know in those situations it's very difficult to play against him. But the referee allowed play to continue. Right decision once again from Mr. Riley.
Rankin. Brian, you mentioned the match here against Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham had chances at the same end of the ground in the first half. They didn't take it, and Premiership teams, well, when you get the opportunities against them, if you don't make them count, it's usually going to be hard work from then on. Will that be the story for Preston? Regan. But Bjarke Gunnlaugsson was setting the sights. Never got his shot away.
Well, I think that really full credit does go to David Weir. That's a magnificent tackle, because you would have really bet on the Icelander to score. It's a fabulous position to shoot from.
Well, what about the second chance?
Well, I think he was so disappointed missing the first one. I really think his concentration had gone at that stage.
Barmby. Everton playing into the teeth of the gale and into the force that is Preston North End so far. Pembridge, climbed by Gregan and by Jackson. A shot by Unsworth.
He's got the taste for goals, hasn't he, David Unsworth, this season? Most of them have come from the penalty spot. I'll tell you what, he struck that beautifully.
Capably too. Good pursuit by Gunnlaugsson, who pinched it from David Weir.
Well, this is what stood Preston well already in this first half. Good foraging from Gunnlaugsson, and there you can see cleanly a late challenge from David Weir, and it really is upsetting the Premier League outfit at the moment, the way that Preston have set out their stall today.
Murdoch with the free kick. Who is a look-alike, Edwards. Regan. And Appleton's made the run. No flag. Just too much pace on the ball in the end.
Well, this is very nearly the pass of the game. There you can see Appleton's run right across Michael Ball. He wasn't sure whether to leave him or stand up, but once again, Gregan, superb play.
Hutchison. Jeff is trying to get across in front of Jackson, not quite, for Everton. Regan. Edwards to Gunnlaugsson, who gets away from Weir. Ball's on to the man coming from the right, who's Appleton, who's scuffed it across. At least it was across the face of the goal. It was undoubtedly a shot that was mishit. Could have fallen for his teammates, but didn't.
Well, Gunnlaugsson is a player that really has been very bright, very sparky. Appleton really pulled the neck off that one, but once again, Everton just delighted to get the ball away.
Appleton jumping into ball, free kick to Everton. With the Preston captain, Sean Gregan, from Mike Riley. And a protest from the player about the decision. In goes Jeffers. It'll drop for Jeffers again, will it? Alexander did enough, and it looked as though it must have deflected off Alexander, but the goal kick has been given.
Well, it's really just a little flick into the danger area from David Weir, and Francis Jeffers looks as if he's got round the back, but just look at the bodies being thrown at that ball, and Alexander there just doing enough really to put Francis Jeffers off. But Mike Riley has got a great view of it, but I've got to say there's a deflection there.
Well, at half-time, it's Preston voices that you're hearing. The side from Division 2 have played with a great sense of purpose here, no little skill, and with Bjarki Gunnlaugsson, they really should have taken the lead. They've had the wind at their backs. That will be a worry as they dissect the first half during the interval, but they can go off at the break with their heads held high. And half-time at Goodison Park in the 5th round of the AXA-sponsored FA Cup. Everton 0, Preston North End 0. One feature of Preston North End's progress this season has been a splendid capacity to perform in away matches. A record-breaking run that was recently only punctured at Stoke City. But one senses, given the prevailing elements here, that it's going to be harder work for them in the second half. Everton have the wind at their backs. They may well have had some words in their ears from Walter Smith and Archie Knox. Barmby. Forward by David Weir. Ayres. Michael Bull trying to play it to Pembridge, but he was tightly watched by Graham Alexander. Gunnlaugsson for Rankin as a man over, and well, they've got the free kick. They might have had more than that.
Well, once again, this great slick passing, and Rankin is caught by Richard Dunn. It's a real clumsy challenge on the edge of the box. It's certainly not a free kick that Everton would look to face so early in the second half.
Regan trying to mask the Everton view of proceedings. It's Ayres, and it flops at a pace that Mura would appreciate on his return to the first team today for Everton. There's a break on here, orchestrated by Ayres. And Preston not too slow in supporting him. Gregan. Alexander. Oh, Rankin nearly got a touch, and then it fell to Mackin, who prodded it straight away goalwards, but straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, we certainly wondered how they would come out in this game.
It's Barmby, it's Jeffers! And with Mackin wondering about the chance at one end, Preston, for the first time really since Jeffers had that chance early in the first half, were in trouble here.
Well, Preston committed a lot of men forward, and Nicky Barmby picks out Jeffers with a perfect pass. This really ought to be 1-0.
Campbell. Oh, Jackson's challenge, a shake of the head from Mike Riley. Brian.
I tell you what, isn't it incredible how these type of instances really can change football matches. We saw very much the self-same incident really in the game against Birmingham City. That time Everton got the penalty, this time they didn't. There seems to be contact. Jackson certainly takes Campbell very late.
Campbell, Jeffers making a move towards the near post. Barmby in the thick of things as well. Back with Campbell. Preston have regrouped. They still have Dunn's cross to try and deal with, and it was Regan who got into the key area then. Ball goes to Murdoch's arm then, if not exactly on it, and it's a matter of intent really, or lack of it. Gunnlaugsson. Barmby having to do the chasing. Gunnlaugsson has done well. This is Appleton. Rankin. Another nearly situation for Preston North End.
Oh, once again, Rankin really drives forward from midfield, and he's done it superbly well this afternoon.
Ayres winning it back from Barmby. 2 up for Everton. 3 up because Barmby has drifted wide and just caught Preston out for a moment. But not Cregan. Beautifully timed challenge from the Preston skipper. And Barmby's bowled him over. Preston actually had kept the ball, but Mike Riley possibly wanting to make a point here as this FA Cup 5th round tie hots up even more.
Well, it is a great shame, but we've got a fantastic game on our hands right now, and this is an incident there that potentially may well have been a handball. It's purely accidental. It really does skip up.
At the moment he's having to win the ball back. He hasn't done it. Cregan has kept it in. No flag. Gunlaugsson's away. Oh, and it came off ball. Thomas Muir didn't feel he could pick the ball up, although it was more of a deflection than anything else from the left back. Rankin. Alexander. Rankin. Macken!
Oh. Well, they've had the chances, haven't they, Preston North End, and no more so than Jonathan Macken, because that's a glorious chance. Rankin really picks him out superbly well, and really you've got to make the most of opportunities that come your way like that, and that is as clear cut as Preston have had.
Chase here for Katamatri. Done. Hutchison. Caught by Edwards now. Everton has got a free kick within range.
I think you'd be sure David Unsworth will fancy this one with his left foot. I think it's set up very well for a left footer. He can either go to the goalkeeper's right or left. It's important he gets his wall right, but Unsworth, as we saw in the first half with Ayres, has got to make the keeper work if he's to take this.
Here is Unsworth! Goal! The penalty hero of the 4th round comes up with a fabulous free kick in round 5.
Well, we know what an educated left foot he's got. That is superb. That's got pace and direction. The goalkeeper's got no chance whatsoever. And really, David Unsworth has provided such match-winning moments for Everton.
Appleton. Got a foot to it. How awkward is this going to be for Mura coming outside his area? He was there ahead of Macken by a stride or two, a significant stride or two. Gunlaugson. Macken able to turn. Unsworth getting back at him. Angle of the challenge. Unsworth says, I got the ball. Mike Riley didn't like what he saw, and having conceded to a free kick, Preston had the chance maybe to reply with one.
Well, Jonathan Macken there coming through. I believe Unsworth actually did get the ball, but Mike Riley's position would have actually seen Unsworth making a challenge that may well have been a foul. But we talked about the execution of David Unsworth for a free kick in a similar position. Can Preston provide the same quality?
Edwards is there as well, and Alexander. It's Alexander. Got a second go, which was significantly better than the first.
Well, it didn't have to be difficult to be better than the first. That's an awful first stab at it, but he really does maintain compose and strikes it very well, but not in the right direction.
Ball's early cross. Too early for one or two of his teammates. Katamatri. Unsworth and Goff. Many moments when Everton have been able to pass the ball precisely and swiftly. Unsworth gets past Cregan. Here's Jeffers! I think they're trying to replace him with Joe Max Moore, but he's still on, and he very nearly made it 2-0, Francis Jeffers.
Well, he owes Unsworth a great chance to get that opportunity, because Unsworth made a great tackle in midfield, and it's like he did in the first half, tries to spot the goalkeeper, tries to hit the top corner, but the goalkeeper is equal to it.
Campbell, and Everton could make sure of it here. Joe Max Moore can tee up Campbell, blocked by Edwards. Cadamartri was a little bit disappointed to the right of Campbell. Campbell. He's got plenty of support here. Barnby. Campbell can take it on and on. Moynihan and put in by Joe Max Moore. It's another late goal for Everton, and it's made sure of a place in the last 8 of the FA Cup. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time. They get more from Moore.
Well, it's a cruel game, isn't it? And Kevin Campbell bides his time. Joe Max Moore's actually in an offside position. It's quite incredible that the ball eventually falls to him because he was offside. Great save by the goalkeeper, but Moore very much on the spot at the right time. And 2-0 is a very flattering goal scoring line as far as the home side's concerned.
And Rankin sets off from the restart. But Everton could really make it very flattering if they can get through again. Cadamartri. This is done. Goal kick.
Believe me, Preston players will just want the referee to blow his whistle now. They know the game is beyond them and they really don't want to suffer any more indignities, but
Everton are into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Joe Max Moore made sure right at the end, after David Unsworth again made a major contribution in this competition. That was the decisive blow, the free kick, a hammer blow to Preston's hopes. Everton through to the quarter-finals for the 2nd successive season under Walter Smith. Preston of Division 2 go the way of 3rd Division Exeter and 1st Division Birmingham at Goodison Park. It's been a pleasant diversion for Preston from their main task of promotion, and they did play very well indeed, and they'll be undoubtedly disappointed that they've got nothing more to show from their considerable efforts here.
Full credit to Preston, they've done really well. They've come and dug in and had a go at us, but great to get the goal.
You played in midfield today, a little bit unusual.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange. John Collins got a knock last week, and he hasn't trained all week, so a few of the other lads are coming back to fitness, and I played in there a couple of times last season, and the gaffer just slotted us in there.
My goal was similar to the goal I scored against Tottenham, just a scrappy goal, not the best of goals, but they all count.
What does the FA Cup mean to somebody from the USA?
It's not followed quite as much, obviously, but I know what the tradition is here in the FA Cup. So I'm happy to be part of it finally and to be here playing in the Premier League.
David, it was a wonderful Preston North End performance that perhaps deserved better.
I felt on the day it did. It was very encouraging to come to Goodison and put on such a good show, and I thought for the majority of the game we had parts of the game which we should have done better in, but I thought we had chances to score a goal and we didn't take it today.
We talked before the game about how you had to maintain your discipline and your shape. You must have been very proud of those aspects.
Yeah, the boys done exactly what we wanted. They kept things tight, especially early on, and then I thought we actually became the better side. We moved the ball better, we created openings, but again we didn't take them. But they've got good players up front and good players in the middle of the park today, and they showed that later on in the game.
Immense success up at Scotland. It'd be nice to get to an FA Cup final.
Well, it would be tremendous there, but we know that there's tough games. I mean, that's Birmingham at home, Preston at home, 1st and 2nd division sides, and they've given us hard enough games. So if we can get a home tie, we're obviously fairly confident at home. We haven't lost many games here this season, so if we can get a home tie, that'll be a big factor.